All right, welcome back to No Filter MMA. This is your boy BJ back with another live stream, guys. And this time, I am here and joined by world-renowned MMA sports photographer Brett King from Brett King Photography. This guy has done promotion, taken photos for promotions such as the UFC, Contenders, Cage Warriors, plus so much more. He does his own freelance thing as well. So welcome to No Filter MMA, Brett. How you doing, man?
Good, really good. Thanks for having me on. I've been wanting to do something like this for a long time. Lockdowns made me think, what I want. This is one of them. I wanted to add this to it, add something to it.
So speaking of quarantine life, man, how's that been over there in the UK, man? I think I talked to Richard about it a while back when he was in quarantine, but how's quarantine been since you've been, over in the UK?
Very hard, actually. Really difficult. I have a full-time job during the day, which has kept me busy. But my passion is photography. My passion is MMA. I haven't been able to do any of that. It's been, apart from last year, I've done the outside event, the Contender outside event, which was great. That was a driving event. But the last event makes me hungry for the next event.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, for the MMA world over in the UK, that drive-in Contenders event, that was huge for y'all, man. Like, to have MMA back in the UK, man, like that was big. That was a big deal.
It was like some sort of normality, if you like. And it was great to get back into it, even with all the COVID checks and everything else that was involved. Everything was worth it just to get back there again, doing what I love, meeting people and capturing the action, and just normality, basically.
Because you were right there in the cage, man. Like you were right there in it, man. And you take some of the best photos. Like how do you get these great shots of these fighters, man? You get them, like you capture the moment where these fighters are like getting ready to go into war, where they're getting ready to fight, and the expressions on their face and their tensed up bodies. Like you get the perfect shots of these people, man. Like how did, being a photographer, man, how does it feel to do your work and then go back and see that kind of work, man? Because it's really, really good work.
I really appreciate it. I zone in on the fights, basically. I never really see what's happening in the cage or in the ring. I don't see it until I get home and I put the SD card in the PC, load them all up, and then I see that fight back, and then I start remembering sequences. But I just zone in on the fight. I kind of anticipate it, the fighters, try and really into the fight itself. And I know the fighter's style, so I kind of know what to expect to a degree of, Scott's, for example. I always know, I know his style. So I'm waiting for that knockout hit, hopefully.
Yeah.
No, I mean, each fight is different, but that's what makes it exciting. I just I don't know. It's a hard one to explain, really. How I do it.
I would think so.
It's I appreciate the backstage shots as well, not just the in-ring and the in-cage stuff. For me, the build-up is so important. The way the weigh-ins and all the tense moments between fighters. I don't know how I do it.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, because some of the backstage stuff that you get, man, like I seen backstage photos of the Cage Warriors fighters, Scott, Richard, all those guys, and you get those moments, man, that are worth 1,000 words, man. And I asked Richard about one of those photos of him. I mean, not Richard, it was Scott. I asked about when he was just in the back, man. He had his head down, he had his gloves on, and you could just tell that he was just ready to go out here and get it, man. And you just snapped the perfect photo, man. And I'm just like, what a great photo. And it seems like MMA photographers, man, are so, like, their work kind of gets slept on. And the reason I say that, and it's sports photography as a whole, and the reason I say that is because we just, like, people like me who podcast, we just simply type in Google photos of this person, and then all these brilliant photos pop up, and there's got to be somebody taking these photos. So really in the world of sports, and especially in the world of MMA, people like you, your work, man, is pretty important for us, or we wouldn't have anything to show you guys when we do these podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, someone said to me once that, you know, pictures are memories, and I've had various fighters after the event and thank me personally for, you know, for providing them memories. You know, this may be their last fight,
Right?
Self, you know, if you know, God forbid, a career-threatening injury, you know, but for me to have captured that moment, you know, that last image could be, you know, a big impression on someone.
Yeah.
You know, I respect every fight, and I appreciate having the opportunity to photograph these events. You know, I mean, for me, it's a dream job, absolute dream job.
Yeah. Scott says a lot of the pictures I have at home made into canvases are all done by Brett. Oh, absolutely, Scott. He's got some amazing photos of you in the cage, man, before and after the fights. He's got some amazing photos of you. So let's rewind here, Brett. Let's go back to what got you into, what put the camera in your hand, bro? Like, where did that connection start?
What, my photography kind of journey? I started off as a landscape photographer, believe it or not, heading down to the beach, taking pictures, random pictures. Then I found it limited. I was going back to the same beach, taking the same picture. I was getting bored. And then I started in the pro wrestling world of photography, actually.
Okay.
I was invited down to a wrestling show for a company called WAW, probably the biggest UK promotion here. They gave me the chance. They invited me down ringside to one of their big events at the same venue where Contenders hold their fights. So I went down there and I was covering their big events down there and getting some ringside experience, which helped me no end. You know, and I'm forever grateful for that opportunity. Soraya Knight, a female wrestler, she gave me the opportunity to do that, to go down there ringside and get into the thick and thin of things. You know, we had, you know, lots of stars, Rey Mysterio, people like that down. It was brilliant. I really, you know, it tested me, which is what was needed, you know, to see if I could do it.
Yeah.
And I worked many shows after that for them. And then Contenders called me up and invited me down, Steve. He invited me for a meeting and we struck a deal and you know, I became the official photographer for Contenders. I took over that role. And I do that by myself down at their events. And that started me off in the MMA world. I assisted one photographer previously for an MMA event for Contenders, but that was an assistant. For me, that's not me. I want to be responsible for it all. I don't want, you know, I don't want to be an assistant. I want to be in the pitch. I don't like to share that role.
Yeah.
I feel like I worked for it, so you know. But no, you never know in the future. And I get busy, you know. I might take on an assistant for, you know, to help me. But because for him, you know, I really think it's important to get those backstage shots, and I can't be cage side and backstage at the same time. So it's you know, I might have to get one of my daughters to help me do that.
You've done a good job though. So far, you've done a good job of getting both, like getting those backstage photos and getting those those photos when they're in prep, or you know, and getting those photos as they come into the cage. You do a pretty good job of being in all those different places, you know.
Yeah, I definitely have to split myself into 2 or 3, you know, to be backstage, you know, front of house, and away, you know, and then some poster pictures and before for promos. Yeah, I do have to be in a lot of places at once, but that's the challenge of it, you know. The challenge when they call that first fighter out for his fight is brilliant. You know, you get that buzz. I get the same buzz, I'm sure, that the fighters do in a different kind of way. But no, you can't beat the live atmosphere. You know, the crowds and everything is great. And then because now I know many of the fighters, it's even better. You know, that I can that I can enjoy it that much more.
Because you see, a lot of time you see, like with the big promotions, like even you know, Contenders in Cage Wars, you see like the camera, like the filming camera in their face right before the fight. You see that in their face, man. So how do you get in there? Like, how do you get around? Because you have to get around those cameras and those things all those things that are going on in the cage before the fight. How do you get around all of that and get to that perfect shot.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, you've got the video guys down there that work completely separate from me. I remember I remember Cage Warriors when I worked there. I went down there with Mark Heath, awesome UK fight journalist. He's very, very popular. He's done it all. Mm-hmm. He's helped me out with all of this, and he's taken me. Well, we basically joined up to go to a lot of these events. So he'll write the report, he'll use my pictures, and we support each other in it. You know, we're really awesome team. Absolutely, you know. Yeah, so going back, I went down to a Cage Warriors event, and for the first time I'd covered one of the big events in Essex. I was in the way of the camera because Cage Warriors use such a big film crew, you know, because it's live on UFC Fight Pass. That was quite new to me. So, you know, I was kindly asked if I could move the other side of the cage. I knew my spot, you know, I kind of got used to that. And yeah, didn't move from that one side of the cage, which is literally all I had was one cage, one side, one square to shoot through. But again, that was a big challenge because normally in Norwich for contenders, I've got the whole cage pretty much.
Yeah.
Less of a crew there. So yeah, that was a good challenge. Yeah, I knew where I was. So when I go back there, I now know, you know, I'm a little bit limited, but also just gives me another challenge. You know, it's good. You know, I don't become rusty. You know, I'm not stale with my work, which is what I don't want to be. I want to evolve with it, basically. Yeah. Because it does. The sport evolves, as you know, like the fighters. So yeah, my work has to change. Keep up. Has to be different. You know, different from the last guy. That's super important to me.
And also, like your daughters, they have something, you know, that's going to be there forever. Their father's pictures, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be there forever. So how did you feel knowing that, you know, decades from now, people are still going to be looking at your photos?
What, like the fighters themselves?
Yeah, like the fighters and everyone.
Yeah, no, it's great that you know, they're forever paying me compliments, and often I'll chat with the guys before the fight starts, you know, because I get to these events a few hours early.
Yeah,
I'm like be there early, and that's when I get the shots, you know, the build-up shots. Yeah, and you know, I'll quite easily sit there and have a coffee with some of the guys and chat, and I always respect that they've taken their time out to talk to me. I'm not just the typical photographer turning up at the show taking pictures. You know, my interests are super high with MMA. I've watched UFC 1, you know, going back to 1993 was when I first real good, and was shocked then, you know, what I'd seen. And then I remember my first live event so much. Yeah, no, you know, I hope the fighters, you know, enjoy the pictures, you know, that I provide them with. Yeah, and I've had many fighters ask, Brett, are you going to be at the next show? You know, which is nice. You know, you get appreciated. You know, disappointed if I'm not, you know, if I'm not there. But, you know, my role's going to become bigger, you know, throughout the year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, man, I was looking forward to meeting you at Contenders, Florida before the whole COVID thing went down because, man, I was going to be there with all my equipment. Like, I was going to, you know, I was ready to go, you know what I'm saying? And then that whole event got canceled. But, I mean, I had flight booked, hotel booked. I was ready to go to Contenders, Florida. And that whole thing just kind of fell through with COVID and whatnot. So, I mean, so let me ask you this, man. Like, tell me the feeling that you get when you know it's a big fight. Like, you know that there's tension, you know, that there's a lot of buzz going on about a particular fight. How do you feel in there getting those pictures, man? Can you feel that energy going, you know, especially when the Contenders events, when you're in the middle of the octagon between the two fighters, you know, I mean, middle of the cage between the two fighters taking photos. Can you feel that buzz, man? Or are you just zoned in on, you know, trying to get that perfect shot?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's probably bad to say, but I do have favorite fighters that I look forward to covering.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And you know, I know the fighters that are going to put on a good fight. You know, from just covering their fights previously, I know they're going to put on a good fight. Scott, you know, he's a really good friend, and you know, I feel for him every time he fights or when he did fight. I was there for his last fight at Cage Warriors in London. That was probably one of my most tense ones, actually, looking back.
Yeah,
Scott walked out with a lot of people.
Mine too. I'm sitting there like, oh, let's go.
was, you know, because I'd covered all the sort of Scott's fights and contenders, and then it came to the big one at Cage Warriors in London, and he came out with Luke Gooch.
Yeah.
All friends as well, you know, and so yeah, personally, I felt for that one. I did, you know, it's almost like a fight I didn't want to cover, but I did.
Yeah.
You know, the outcome wasn't what we all hoped for, you know, but you know, Scott puts on an awesome fight every time.
Every single time. Scott, instead of you asking Brett, will he ever get back to training? The question is, are you going to get back to training? That's what I want to know. Is if it crossed your mind, buddy.
I've actually asked him down at the gym, because he manages the gym that I go to in Durham, and yeah, I often ask Scott this.
No, man, Scott's enjoying those donuts, man. He likes those donuts. So I got to ask you about one thing, man. It was actually two things that you did. There's actually one thing that you did that I was like, man. For one, you got rid of that beautiful car that you had. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
The red one.
Yes, the red one. It was beautiful.
Oh, it was actually. I miss it. I actually do miss it. I mean, I had it over a year and a half. Yeah, I really miss it, actually. I found pictures of my time hop the other day, and I was like, actually, I love it even more now it's gone, and I appreciate it more. So I changed to a newer version, but I still miss the red one. It was.
I did the same thing, man. I've done that before, and I'm like, I shouldn't have done that.
It was a good car, and you know, my kids loved it, you know, because it was great round the bends, you know, it could screech around the bends.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, no, I do. I hope it's a good place now, you know, because I looked after that car, like, you know.
Yeah.
It was a good car. Yeah, I miss. But yeah, live and learn.
So I'm gonna get to the next thing I want to ask you too. But Scott says, I remember before Brett had his cameras, he was taking pictures of us and him training at Exiles. Okay, Scott, also go ahead.
Yeah, I was taking some on my mobile phone at the end when we would finish our session. We'd get into a big group, you know, and have a picture. But also, I'd be taking shots during training when I was having my time out from it on the bench, waiting for my next sparring session.
Yeah.
Pictures and even one of Scott's fights, I remember taking pictures, contenders. But you know, these were just on mobile phones, cell phone shots, so I couldn't do anything magical with them. But there's still memories, you know. I've got pictures of several years back and a few of the others. Yeah, it was good. And I see Scott says about bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah.
That's on my bucket list to actually photograph. We've got BKK, is it BKB here. I want to photograph one of their events. They look really good to photograph for the action, really. I'm not a huge fan of their fights. It's just a style. I think it's very risky. You know, I respect what they do, but for me, it's quite short-lived. I don't know.
You think it's short-lived?
Yeah, the fights don't last very long, obviously, because of the bare knuckle side of things. You know, the hand wraps. Yeah, UFC, MMA, not just UFC, but MMA, Bellator, that kind of stuff is I like to see, really. I want to see everyone go home, basically, not.
Listen to Danny. She's like, no, Scott. Danny just comes out of nowhere like, like. That's the funniest thing. Go ahead.
She wouldn't let him.
No, she's not going to let him do anything. No, absolutely not. So quick question, Brett. Where did this cat come from, bro? Where did he come from? You got to tell me about this guy, man.
The cat. Everyone loves the cat. Smokey, his name is. Lovely cat. I've just moved house. Got a new housemate. And this cat, yeah, just such a super friendly cat. Super friendly. It's just woken up, actually, and I've just let it outside. But yeah, super affectionate, good company. But yeah, so I'm practicing, as you can see, photos on the cat to keep me active. It doesn't move very quick. He's quite he doesn't run for anything, basically. So it's not a challenging picture.
Yeah.
Good cat, really.
Yeah, man. He loves the camera. It looks like
he's a poser, without a doubt. I said to his owner Simon, I said he's definitely a poser cat. Definitely, he doesn't leave, really.
So let me ask you this, man. So you're doing your photography thing with MMA. How did these models reach out to these girls reach out to you and ask you to take photos of them? Like, was that totally new to you?
Yeah, like the
Okay.
ring, like that, and the models in general. Some of the Contenders girls I've worked alongside, or actually outside of Contenders, for model shoots. So yeah, we've worked on shoots just for themselves outside for and also a good catch up outside the events, because at these events we don't get long to talk to each other. You know, literally, they're doing their thing, walking to the cage, escorting the fighters. We don't have much time to talk really, so it's nice for a catch up and actually, just generally mingle. So they contact me or I contact them and we arrange a shoot. You know, which is great because it helps them, it helps me, and actually it helps the team. You know, actually you get to know each other. It's great. I really that side of it. Making friends is a huge thing. Huge.
Yeah. So when you so how did you get in contact with the UFC? Because I know you did some shots for the UFC.
UFC, Mark Heath, the UK fight journalist, he asked me, or he recommended me to contact him because we had Arnold Allen fighting on the card, and he's a local lad. So I applied to the UFC on their website. Had to go through various checks.
Oh yeah.
Passport, obviously, for a big company, it was done, you know, very, very properly, and they got back to me. Well, no, they didn't get back to me, and I was a bit worried because it said I'd passed all the checks, etc. And I then contacted them, and they said, "Oh no, you can come down. We sorted out your pass for backstage and for cage side." I travelled down there with Mark to London, and I was super nervous for that. I was really, really anxious. Actually, we was backstage, but they treated us like a king. The food they put on was amazing. They didn't skimp on anything. They really, really fed me well, and then I brought it down to the cage. But definitely had butterflies. Even covering that previous events like Cage Wars and Contenders, when you're walking out to a UFC crowd, that amount of people in London, I was nervous, and then when I got down to the cage, there was several photographers there, obviously from other presses, and I had to find my spot and just get focused, because for me that was my dream, to cover a UFC event. Never ever thought I'd be doing a UFC event, covering one. That was amazing. That was a great experience, and something I want to do again. I almost got to a Bellator event as well. I got invited down for the open weigh-ins, and but they didn't have enough room for the cage side basically for me. But I could open weigh-ins basically in the training sessions. But for me,
bro, you'll get there. No worries.
Bellator is one I want to cover. That's definitely a bucket list. Definitely when it comes to UK eventually again.
They do a lot over there in the UK.
We've got Paul Daly. He's a really good fighter.
MVP.
Yeah. So many good fighters on there. I mean, they all do. Bellator is definitely another one I want to cover. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Cassie King says, I think that's your sister, right?
My sister.
She says, what advice would you give to an aspiring photographer who would like to get into event photography? That's a really good question.
A very good question. I would say learn the basics, just like I did. I went out there. I didn't watch any YouTube, no manuals. I've got 3 or 4 cameras. I've never read the manual. Never. Be boasting. I don't do much reading. I'm picture taking. I'm not a reader. So I went out and just learned the basics. Learned by my mistakes. And then, but to get into event photography is a tricky one. It really is.
Oh yeah.
I'll be a bit big-headed, but they came to me for events. A lot of them. Although I always appreciated the opportunity. I was very lucky. I say lucky. I don't know, but they came to me, so I took it, both hands and went on to the events. I cover a lot of the charity boxings down in the UK here. White boxing they call it, and Ultra MMA. I applied for them events, and then the promoter would pick between the photographers for that particular venue or the event or location. and then they'll get back to me. But you know, I normally secure a spot there at them events, and they're good little events, actually, good events. But yeah, it's a tricky one that to get into event photography. Really, it is a case of learning your trade, your craft first. You know, because to work a show, to work an event like any fight event or wedding, you've got to be confident. You know, you can't you can't turn up and hope that you're going to get that shot.
Yeah, and it's go ahead.
The promoters want, you know, the knockout shots. They want everything. You can't. At the end of the night, if you've got nothing to show, then it looks bad.
Yeah,
it's not. You know, you'll be passed away. You know, I'll get the next guy in. You know, and
yeah.
I don't want that spot taken.
Well, you get, like I said, you get really, really good shots in there, man. Like, and I was gonna say, like, when I was doing interviews, you know, setting up for interviews with Luke, you know, especially with Luke, and trying to find photos of Luke, like, dude, you had some of the best ones, like the ones you have of him, like behind the cage. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are awesome, 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 awesome photos, man. And you do a lot of those up close and personal shots with boxers and fighters and wrestlers. Like, man, and those are awesome shots.
Yeah, I think the shots should look raw, you know, and gritty. And
yeah,
I follow a few photographers actually on Facebook that work all over the UK and America, and you know, I just think the style should be gritty, you know, and but also I want my style to look different to somebody else's. I don't want mine to look like somebody else's. I want them to say that's definitely one of Brett's pictures, not one of someone else's. You know, I want my stamp on it, basically.
You see a lot of polished over photos of fighters, man. Some of the like in some of the photos that you put out, you can see the battle scars on their face, man. Like, and that's what you want to see. Like, you know, you see the years of fighting on their face, you know, and I think that's the true fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you see this person in person, that's what you're gonna see, you know, and I think that those are really, really, really well taken photos, man.
100%. You know, I've always said pictures should tell a story, you know, and I don't care if that's a beach or a church or anything. A picture should say, you know, tell a story, you know. And so those scars and all that kind of stuff on the guy's face, you know, that should be on the picture, you know. Why up, you know? You shouldn't have to over edit a fighter's picture, you know.
Exactly. Don't do that. We want to see how they look.
You know, you want to see it, and I don't always see it when I take the picture, but when I get it home and I have a little play on Photoshop, I can bring that out, and it shows, you know. It shows. It shouldn't be hidden. No way. No. You know, covering scars on a fighter or anything like that, you know. You know, my fight pictures during the events are hardly edited at all, you know. That I have my style, I apply that to each picture, and I work the same for Contenders, Cage Warriors, UFC. You know, I don't think, it's a lower promotion, I'll just work 50% effort. It's 100 all the way. My style won't change for whoever, you know, for whatever event. It would be the same, 100% all the way, you know, all the way.
Yeah. So I'm sure when you're getting those, because you do a lot of like landscaping, like landscape photos, you do a lot of photos of like the view there in of the UK, like different like harbors and like ports and stuff like that. Like, I see you taking these photos, man. I'm sure that's like extreme like meditation when you're taking those serene, those docile photos, man, because those photos look very calming, very peaceful. Sure, you know, when it's just you out there with your camera, bro, I'm sure that's good on the brain as well.
100%, and that's really it, you know. Absolutely. If I go down to a beach, when I get home, I'm so relaxed.
Yeah.
I'll grab a out there. I'll go out there in all weathers, and it's so relaxing for the mind. It really is, and that's what I'm missing now, you know, because we're not, you know, we're in lockdown, so I can't do that. I live about an hour from the beach, so I can't go out there. But yeah, I do miss it. You know, I spent a lot of time at the coast with my kids, and that's what got me. You know, we miss all them kind of parts. But yeah, so good for the mind. The sea, you know, it's so relaxing. There's no better place, you know.
Man, I mean, and you produce like, I mean, man, those photos of you just out there, like with the deers. those are absolutely amazing photos. Like, how did you get those photos, bro? Like, I always wanted to ask, like, I like all of them, but I'm like, I gotta ask this dude, how did you get photos of these animals, like, just out there in their natural habitat?
Yeah, the deer pictures. Yeah, I really enjoy it. That's in a place called Holcombe. I've actually got a wedding booked at that venue. They've got a huge hall, got a lot of history about it. But yeah, when the deers are out, I'd love to go and get the pictures off them. Some will pose for me, some will run the minute they see me. that don't want to move, and they're great for me because they just stay there. But no, it's beautiful to go down there. Really, again, relaxing. So nice, you know, and it's completely different from fighting pictures, but also I still learn every time, you know. I'm forever learning from these. But no, great place. Really
what I've also noticed, Brett, is 10 years ago nobody was talking about. Nobody was. At least it didn't feel like, you know, people were wondering who took the pictures. They just cared about the picture, you know. And also, like, from my standpoint, like, nobody cares about who it is that's, you know, putting this MMA news and stuff out here. We just care about the news.
Yeah.
So nowadays it feels like, you know what I'm saying, like, people behind the scenes that are putting these, you know, writing these articles, doing these, you know, these MMA channels, taking these photographers, those people are starting to get a lot more attention now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people, even over here in the States, people are starting to become aware of Brett King photography because more people are watching Cage Warriors, more people are watching Contenders from over here, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and on a lot of these photos, man, you see Brett King photography, you know what I'm saying? So you're starting, I know you got a lot of traction over in the UK, man, but you're also on track to capture a lot of US audiences as well, especially if you come here and do that event, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know, you're on my platform right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are going to start to notice who you are, bro.
Absolutely. And you know, talking about the border show, I was so disappointed that it didn't happen. I was so looking forward to it, meeting you, meeting everyone else, and a big boost for my profile, you know, and getting out into the States and getting recognized out there, which was really, you know, a big goal of mine as well. And yeah, I really missed that part. I'm hoping it happens. But yeah, we didn't really get recognized, photographers. But definitely better now. You know, I'm on a fight photography group on Facebook, a private one, and, you know, I see a lot of other people's work, and we are getting more recognised for our work, our efforts. Maybe some of the work wasn't very good over the years, you know, and that's why they weren't recognised. You know, maybe that's why. But you know, that's down to the individual. You know, you've got to make yourself recognised. You know. I've seen some good work and I've seen some okay work, you know, and I want to improve every time. I want to be recognised better for it. And
how can you improve though? How does one behind the camera improve?
Yeah, well, I've spent my lockdown time studying photography online. I've changed my process and my editing style. I've looked back at previous pictures of where I was going wrong. So going back to like the earlier Contenders event, I'm now not happy with them pictures, but at the time I liked them. But now, because I've evolved, I've seen where I've gone wrong, you know. But again, that's just learning, you know. You don't become great overnight, you know. And I've still got to learn. I haven't peaked. I don't think I've peaked yet. I've still got a lot to give to these events. I really, I want to prove, you know, show people how I've changed, you know, how I've progressed.
Yeah.
Got a good support net, so it's helped me go. You know, it's helped me.
So you see yourself doing this for a long time?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I couldn't see myself not doing it. I really couldn't. This is my thing. You know, this is my subject. You know, this is what I want. Right. There's some things that I want changed in it. So, you know, I have quite good influence on the events. If I don't feel that looks great on camera, you know, it get changed. You know, because. Yeah. I see things differently, you know. Well,
I can tell you that the Contenders Drive-In event, when you step back, when you were taking the photos, but you were from way back, those were like that whole event photographed well, the way that it was set up, you know, huge screen behind it, the cage right down in the front. Like it was set up very nice.
Yeah, it gave people a chance to see a bit of behind scenes stuff, because we all want to see behind scenes. I want to see behind scenes. So when I'm watching a UFC event, I love it when you see the backstage stuff. That to me is super important, because you never used to get to see all them parts. You know, you look back to the earlier UFCs, you would never really see much backstage.
No, not at all. No,
allowed, you know. But now you see a bit of the build up, the hand wraps, and all that kind of stuff. So I'll cover more than just the fighter in the cage. You know, I'll go to the hand wrap guys. You know,
yeah, the hand wrap shots. Those are really good shots, man. Like that's like signature Brett King. It was the fighter sitting there getting their hand wrapped. It's like signature Brett King, man.
You know, it is. And again, I wish I could split myself into two at them events for the backstage stuff. But you know, in time, I will probably take on one of my daughters to help me. You know, because you know that they're very artistic as well. And for me, it's very important. Whoever I take on to help me in the future has got, you know, my kind of eye and my appreciation for the sport and the picture. And you know, all my kids are artistic, so you know, it's going to be hopefully one of them tag along with me. And I've come along to one of the events, you know, to watch and join me, you know. So yeah, I like to get my children involved in it as well, because they know my passion for it as well.
Yeah, for sure. So R Millhouse says, what is your favorite camera to shoot with at some of the events that you go to?
Well, that's a tricky one. Oh, so
it's the beautiful iPhone. It's the beautiful mobile phone camera that he uses to get photos of the cat, man. It's that one.
God, that's a tricky one. I started off with an entry Nikon or Nikon camera at my first wrestling event. And then I just progressed to a professional or semi-professional, and now I'm on a professional camera. I now use a Nikon or Nikon D850, which, you know, in technical wise is a full frame camera, so a professional camera. I've just now got a new Sony camera, which I'm dying to use at an event. Basically, it's an amazing piece of equipment, and the videos, it can do 4K videos, so I'm looking at doing some of them as well.
Did you see where the UFC started doing that?
What's that?
Using like the ultra high definition like shots when
they do as well. It's brilliant. You know, when it's looking down, absolutely.
Yeah,
easy, absolute. You know, there's no excuse now really not to get a great shot. I think with all the technology and stuff like that, as long as you can use it and you know how to use it, you can get the great shots. But yeah, my Nikon D850 is going to be my main event camera, because it's just a workhorse camera. It's so robust. It's like a tank. It's so good, and so reliable, so good. Yeah, there's no real perfect camera. D3300, yeah. See, that would be tricky with one of them for the events. I would say get a Nikon D750 as advice for event photography to begin with. D750, and I've got some great shots with the D750, which is under £1,000 now. I think you can pick up one.
Under £1,000.
Yeah, but yeah. But I'd get one of them and practice. See if you can join or tag along with another photographer to an event. That's what I would recommend, to see how you get along with your camera, and in difficult situations, difficult lighting. Some venues are greatly lit, some are terrible, some are really bad.
Yeah, so what do you do when you have those dimly lit events? Because sometimes like the Contenders events now Contenders is a great promotion, don't get me wrong, very professional promotion. But sometimes where they are, like, it's kind of dark sometimes where they are around the cage and whatnot. How do you adjust to that?
Yeah, Contenders is quite a dark.
I like that theme that they use, though. I like how they keep it dark.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it definitely sets me more of a challenge there, Epic, I guess. But that means, you know, putting your professional head on and adjusting to the situation in terms of configuration on your camera. Epic is like a home to me, really. I've covered a lot of wrestling events and now Contenders, so you know, I know the best configuration for them venues, definitely. But I'm forever looking at new spots. Let's see. Oh, Millhouse. Sure, yeah. I'll try and find a local MMA or pro wrestling event and tag along with their local photographer. Get in contact with them, just message them and see if you can tag along and gain some experience. That's what I would recommend for if you want to get into that kind of stuff. There's no real right or wrong camera, really. There's ones that make it easier for you. But, you've got to enjoy MMA. You've got to like the sport to get that right shot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't do motorsport racing photography because it's not my interest, and I wouldn't be looking for that best shot. But MMA, I want that best shot. I want the blood, sweat, and tears kind of.
So moving forward, I know you used to train mixed martial arts, so there, that's part of the connection to MMA. Like, would you branch out, or is this your niche? Like, is this where you want to be, or would you branch out and do other stuff?
I do wedding photography as well, which is great. I really enjoy that. I enjoy all the moments that you get with that, and the appreciation and the respect is great. But MMA, fighting, kickboxing, all that kind of stuff is my subject, without a doubt. My main focus, definitely, outside of weddings, is no other real sports. I've covered a football game before, or soccer. Great, but you just can't beat an MMA or boxing pictures. You can't. You just you cannot. The detail you get in a picture from a fighting event is completely different. Completely.
Yeah.
You can get home by that shot. Like you nailed it. Basically, you just know. You've got it. And I looked at my friends list the other day, just as I was passing by, and it was so nice to see, because so many of the fighters are using my pictures for their profile pictures. So it might sound silly, but years ago I would not have expected that. But now I look at it and think, wow, that my pictures are getting around.
Yeah. Oh, your pictures get around, bro. Your pictures get around. When I did the Luke interview, Luke told me use these photos for the promo, and they were all Brett King photos. I was like, look at this, man. You got a whole profile here.
That's good. No, that's good. And I'm glad they're coming to good use, my pictures, and doing them justice, in the promotions, because media is so strong, as media is super strong, and if you're displaying your organization promotion with very poor media images from my side, it just looks bad.
Yeah. You're right, man.
I saw a poster online earlier for a wrestling poster, and I've never seen something so bad, to be honest. And I'm an book, but these pictures weren't professional by any means. And again, for me, that's now left a lasting memory in my head, of a bad poster. It just stays in your head, So start off well, really media strong, because you're representing a company. I am. Taking these pictures, and if my pictures look bad, it just looks bad on everyone, and myself. So,
but not only are you representing the organization, you're representing your own brand. You have your own brand here in mind as well.
Absolutely, and I'm so fussy with pictures. I'm so OCD with the right picture. I've for an example, Cage Warriors, I took over 4,000 images, and I probably produced 1,200 that I was happy with. So I'm ruthless with my pictures. Absolutely, it's got to be right. Absolutely got to be right, or it just gets deleted. It's got to be. It's got to be right. Basically, no second best. No second best.
Yeah. So how do you feel when you see all these athletes and these organizations using your work, man? Like, how do you feel when you see that? Do you kind of give yourself like a small pat on the back, man? Like, hey, 10 years ago, I didn't think I would be doing this.
Yeah, I really appreciate when the fighters use their pictures and they get in contact with me and ask for some pictures for their posters or just to share on social media. Really, really proud of it. And sometimes I don't have much time to look back and think, actually, I've achieved a lot in quite a small time. Really, as a fight photographer, I've covered quite a few promotions now. And like you said, a few years ago, I was not expected to do, to cover many. And I'm still getting gyms now contacting me for events, for their fight events and for gym shoots. So I'm going to be busy at the end of this year, when they all resume. covering gyms again. I can't wait to get back into it. But no, it's going to be a big year next year for sure. It's going to be the one, I think, where it really picks up.
Things get back to normal for sure.
So
we know that you're a huge mixed martial arts fan. Okay, so I got to ask you, who you got this weekend with Polish Power and Adesanya, man? Like that's a. I mean, I want to hear who you have on that fight. All three of the title fights: Petr Yan, Aljamain Sterling, Megan Anderson, Amanda Nunes, because that fight is tricky. Nunes versus Anderson is tricky. I know everyone sees her as the GOAT, but this fight is very tricky. And also, Jan Blachowicz and Israel Adesanya, that's a tricky fight as well.
Yeah, them two you just last mentioned. Amanda Nunes, for me, is one I'm following, to be honest. She is an amazing fighter. I used to be a Rousey fan, which is not everyone likes. But Amanda Nunes is something else. When I watch her fight, I had my lunch break at work the other day, and I was watching her against Cyborg again. And Christine Cyborg, she was like the main female fighter, and she got put down. In a big way, and I was shocked, and even more shocked now when I rewatched that fight. For me, her fight, I don't know, Amanda Nunes, I don't know much about her opponent, but I just really don't feel Amanda can be beaten. I don't know. Everyone can go down, but she is something else. She is.
It's tricky though with Megan Anderson, man, because Megan Anderson is a legit featherweight. I'm talking 6 foot 1 inches tall, with one punch knockout power. So, for me, I'm just like, I love what Amanda Nunes does, but, Amanda Nunes, some of these featherweights are going to be significantly bigger than Amanda Nunes. Like, Amanda Nunes is someone who can make 135 pounds. Sure. You know what I'm saying? There's girls out there like Felicia Spencer, Megan Anderson, Leah Letson that can't make 135 pounds. So these girls are going to be a lot bigger than Amanda Nunes. Go ahead.
I don't know how tall Amanda Nunes. How tall is she? 5'8"?
Like 5'8", 5'9". Yeah.
Yeah, she just feels so solid. So solid. I don't know. I was upset when she beat Rousey, but
I was upset when she beat Miesha Tate. I was an avid Tate fan. I was a Tate fan.
Another great fighter, absolute great fighter. Again. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check this opponent.
So how do you feel about Blachowicz and Adesanya?
Yeah, another difficult one to call. I think all the fights in that card are going to be really difficult to call.
Yeah.
The build-up fights on YouTube and UFC Fight Pass, but I'm one of these guys that I just can't pick a winner. I really can't. I used to be. Well, I still am a big Brock Lesnar fan. I know everyone hates Brock Lesnar. For me, I've followed his career a long time, and even up until the last Mark Hunt fight that he had. But I like Lesnar. Brock Lesnar for me is a good guy, but obviously probably not going to make a return now.
Nah, I mean, I was hoping to kind of see when the whole DC thing was going on. I was invested just a little bit, Brett.
They've been good, but I just don't think it's ever going to happen now. I really. I don't think so. I think they're all past that point where they're not, they're past it really now to get to that. Yeah. And the heavyweight is tricky now in the UFC, isn't it? It's not what it used to be. It's very high. The fighters are highly rated or ranked. Someone like Brock Lesnar wouldn't last now, unfortunately.
I don't think so either, man. I think, when you got someone like Stipe at the top, like Stipe is just so well-rounded. He's such a killer, you know what I'm saying? And people, like, he's the underdog sometimes in so many situations, man. Like, when he beat Francis Ngannou, dude, I mean, what a performance from Stipe Miocic. And this last fight with DC, I'm like, yo, Stipe, come out with the long hair every single time you fight, man, because he put on a masterclass against DC that last time.
Yeah, he is a one-off. He really is. There's something about him, He's not one of these guys that's super muscular and looks intimidating. He's just a regular-looking guy that is actually a killer in the cage. He can. They're the ones I really respect. The ones that that they're absolute machines. Yeah, they're absolutely You know, Overeem, I watched his last fight. I'm a big fan of Alistair Overeem. He's a really good fighter, but obviously his time is pretty much done, really.
I think so too. Yeah.
You know, I want to see him end. You know, I don't want to see him continue, you know, with another fight. I think that's probably his last one of the recent UFC.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, man.
Yeah, it's no, a big card this week.
But anyways, guys, my boy Brett King Photography, man. Listen, dude, you go ahead and give your final thoughts on what we spoke about today, man. What we can expect from Brett King Photography.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you having me on board today. It's been really good. I really, you know, this has been great. But yeah, expect bigger things. You know, promotions contact me to cover your events. You know, get in contact with me. Gyms, I can contact, you know, cover them, promo shots, anything. But yeah, but just expect, you know, I'll still be covering Contenders and Cage Warriors Academy. Just see me progressing, basically, continue doing what I'm doing now, but just more of it, basically, once allowed.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, gotta say, you know, thank you for all the promotions that have taken me on board. You know, I mean, they gave me the opportunity, wrestling promotions. Yeah, they've kept me going. You know, they take me on board and trusted me to represent their product, basically. Huge support from my family, my daughters. You know, everything. Huge.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, you know, I hope that things pick up. You know, I hope this quarantine shit lifts a little bit. So,
absolutely,
get back rolling.
Absolutely, it needs to. And I want to get to Florida. I want to come over to Florida for the Contenders Florida. That's my, you know, that's my goal.
That's so crazy, man. So have you ever been to the States?
Yeah, I have. I've got relatives, cousins over there.
Okay.
Several years, well, many years, long time. But yeah, I really want to get over there. I want to get over
all
there.
I'm going to say to you, man, and I'm going to say it to all my UK guys, Richard, Tom, you, Luke, if you guys come to the US, you guys come to this Contenders Florida event, because I talked to Nick, and Nick said that's still in the works. Like, he still, yeah.
Yeah, Nick said the same to me, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I got a brand new passport ready, my visa ready for it. So yeah, I'm more than ready for this event. More than ready to be there, you know.
Just don't judge the rest of the United States by Florida. That's all I'm saying. Like, Florida is it's like a one-off. You know what I'm saying? You have so many different. You have white culture, you have black culture, you have Latino culture. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Cuban culture there in Florida. So really, Florida is like it's like a mixing ground for a lot of different cultures. So you'll see a lot of different things in Florida. Like Florida is like separate from the United States. I swear it is, because there's so much different types of culture there. You know what I'm saying? So you may see some things that, you know, just don't. The rest of the United States is not like that.
I love it all, you know, and because I'll be going over there for the event, I'll also be able to go out during the day and take pictures, you know, like some landscapes.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be, you know, one of my goals as well while I'm there, not just for the event, but for the few days that I'm there.
Yeah,
take it all in, you know, and photographs all around, you know. Absolutely, it'd be a great opportunity for me to venture out.
Yeah, you'll have a lot of fun there, man. You'll definitely have a lot of fun there.
Yeah, I really can't wait. It needs to happen. It needs, you know.
Yeah, man, I was coming to have a good time too, man. But you know, it is what it is.
At the end and everything.
So what?
Could have grabbed a beer at the end of the event.
I'm telling you, man. I was looking forward to it, everything, man. But it is what it is with COVID, man. But yeah, man. Any special shout outs that you want? R. Millhouse says Florida is the trailer park of the U.S. R. Millhouse, don't do that, man. But any special shout outs, Brett, before we get off here, man?
No, just thank you for, you know, for everyone supporting me, backing me up, contacting me. I've even had people making sure that I'm fine during COVID times. Really appreciate it. You know, I've had such good support. Made a whole bunch of friends throughout MMA, and my family, my daughter supporting me. Yeah, huge support network. You know, that makes sure that I'm good. You know, and proud of me. You know, that's.
Yeah, it's good to be proud of yourself, man. Like, hell yeah.
You know, no, I just want people to you know, to continue supporting me. you know, just basically watch this space. You know, I'm hoping to progress even further. I've not stayed non-active during lockdown.
Yeah. Yeah, we see, man. We see you.
I'm fresh for the events. I'm fresh. I'm good and ready for events.
Listen. Brett says he don't get ready; he stay ready. I think I got that quote from one of the Mearns brothers. It was either Luke or one of the Mearns brothers. It was like, "I stay ready." I'm like, whoa, okay, buddy.
That's good. I like that. I'm gonna add that too.
Well, man, you're officially part of the No Filter MMA family. You join an elite class of people today who have been on this podcast and wrapped it up with your boy, man.
Really been brilliant. It's my first interview. My first
really?
Story. Yeah. Never had I very rarely do FaceTime. So yeah, this is all new, you know. So definitely historic moment.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, you got to get on film, man. Show off that clean cut beard you got, man. You know, you got to show that off, man. You know,
up for, you know, because it was getting a bit messy, and I'm, you know, but it's not over here in the UK, so I needed a bigger beard to keep my face.
Well, hey man, we appreciate you coming on today, man. I'm gonna shut this thing down. Let you get back to what you got to do. I know you got shit to do today, so I'm gonna let you do what you got to do, man. Hey, I can't wait for the next time for you to come back on here, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and wrap it up again, do an update, sit around and kick it up, man, for sure.
Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Hey guys, let everyone know, Brett, let everyone know where they can find you, man.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, BK Combat Photography. I've just opened up a brand new page, so it's literally just MMA photography or fight photography, and Facebook, Brett King Photography. But Instagram for my fight pictures, BK Combat Photography.
Is it all one word?
Yeah, all one word. Yeah, BK Combat Photography, and you'll see my big logos in red, BK. Yeah, and contact me for bookings or anything like that, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah. Is that it? Is that right?
BK Combat. Let me check. No.
Is that right? Uh-oh. I think we lost him. I think he hit something on it. There he is. There he is.
BK.
Was that right, though? Can you see that? Uh-oh. I think we lost him. Uh-oh. Well, there he is. We lost you there for a second.
It cut off my mic. Yeah, it's BK Combat Photography.
Okay.
It's a page. You'll find it on there if you do a search on Instagram.
Well, yeah, you guys definitely go check out Brett. Go check out his artwork, guys. We're gonna get up out of here, guys. This is your boy BJ back from No Filter MMA, joined by a special guest over here, my boy Brett King from Brett King Photography. Go check this guy out. You know what I'm saying? Like his photos, his work is absolutely flawless, guys. So definitely check that out. And stay tuned for the latest and the best in upcoming MMA, guys. This is your boy BJ, and I'm out of here. Appreciate it, Brett. Thank you for coming through, man.
I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Cheers.